Okay, folks, here's a little video to help you get ready for tomorrow's quiz. The big thing on tomorrow's quiz is to be looking at the 4 function types and their features, as well as writing equations given some sets of points. So I'm going to take a brief look at each type as we've gone over them. You guys did a pretty good job with them. We'll make sure we know what to do. The first type is the linear function. There's the equation for the line, y equals mx plus b. It has a constant slope, meaning the slope does not change. And it's very straightforward for putting the points into matrices to solve the equation. I've underlined the x's in blues and the y's in red. So when we make our matrix, we're going to put the x values followed by a set of 1s in the first matrix, and then the corresponding y values in the next matrix, and then we're going to multiply them, and we're going to get an answer. So I solved these matrices, and I ended up with a matrix of 1, 1. Means the final equation is y equals 1x plus 1, be the equation for my line. The values you get in order are m, you get first, and then b, you get second. Okay, let's take a look at the next function type, which is a quadratic. It's the only one to turn around. The general formula is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, happy parabolas have a positive a, and sad parabolas have a negative a. That's how you can tell what direction it's going in. And it's very similar to the one we just did before. I'm going to highlight the x's in blue. I'll highlight the y's in red. We have a little extra information this time. So when I fill in my first matrix, I'm going to fill in the x values, 7, 3, and 12. I square that number over here, 49, 9, and 144, 1, 1, and 1. And then in the red matrix, I have to do the corresponding y value for the given x value. So with 7 goes 9, with 3 goes 4, with 12 goes 2. We'll get to the negative first power, see what my calculator gives me back. And they didn't get nice, neat, even numbers because I sort of made these ones up as I went, but I got in my matrix negative 0.29, 4.19, and negative 5.93, making the equation, these are the A, B, and C in order, making my equation y equals negative 0.29 x squared plus 4.19x minus 5.93c. So those are the two that are done with the matrix method. The other two are the power functions. Power functions will either touch the origin or they will not touch the y-axis at all. You'll know which ones they are because something like 7x to the 4th will touch the origin, but 7x to the negative 4th will not touch the origin. So if b is less than 0, you get this type of graph. If b is greater than 0, you get this type of graph. So let's say I had a couple of points on here. Let's say I have the point 3, 5, and I have the point 9, 12. I could fill those in for x and y into my equation. So it's going to be 12 equals a 9 to the b. And then my next equation would be 5 equals a 3 to the b. And with all these types, you're trying to eliminate a to start with, so I'm going to divide both sides, cancel the a's. Got 12 over 5, which I'll give to you as a decimal, is equal to 2.4. Equals, and this converts from 9b over 3b to 9 over 3, all in parentheses, b, which I'm going to simplify, but you don't have to simplify if you don't want to, equals 3 to the b. I now have an exponential equation. I can't solve for b. I can't get it by itself, so I'll convert it to a log equation. I just said equation, so I'm going to cut down this tree. So when I cut down a tree, I get a log. I'm going to get a base, which is 3. And then when I cut this tree down, the exponent went as far away as it could. It's far away. Oh. So the exponent goes all the way over here, and then I fill in my 2.4, and lo and behold, an equation that was hard to solve is now easy to solve, because I can do log base 3, 2.4, and enter, and I get 0.797. So that gets me my B, but that doesn't get me the A value, so I have to sub back in to find that. I can put it into either of the two original equations, and I'll go 5 equals A 3 to the 0.797. So to get A, I will divide, well, first I'll find 3, this is the 0.797. That's equal to 2.4. 5 equals A times 2.4. Divide both sides by 2.4. I've got A equals 2.08. So now I found my A, and I found my B, and I can write my new equation of 2.08 times x to the 0.797. Fourth type is exponential, ab to the x. It will always, 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 always cross y. It will always cross y. Hey, it's cross always y. No, it doesn't do anything for me. Okay, so if I have my 2 points, I know it's an exponential because it passed through y. I have 3, 5, and I have 6, 4. I can go ahead and substitute my numbers in, and what I want to try to remember to do is always put the biggest exponent on top. So I'm going to fill these numbers into the x and y values. So I get 14 equals ab to the 6th, and I get 5 equals ab to the 3rd. Now I'm going to divide both equations again. The a's cancel. I get 14 over 5, and the top wins and ends up with b to the 3rd left over. Then to get b by itself, both sides to the 1/3 power, and b is going to be equal to, which gives us b is equal to 1.41. So now that I have the b, I can substitute it back into either equation to get the a. 5 equals a times 1.41 to the 3rd. I divided both sides by 1.41 to the 3rd, and I got a to be equal to 2.80. So my exponential equation is y equals 2.8 times 1.41 to the x. Now, I want to make sure your equation is right. Put it back into the calculator, and then just do a menu 51. Do a trace feature, and when you put in an x value, for example, we have the x value of 3, you should get a y value back that's pretty close to 5. So those are the 4 function types. The other things you need to make sure you know are the difference between concavity and direction. There are 2 types of concavity, up and down. There's a concave up graph. There is a concave down graph. The direction is something different than concavity. I'm going to draw half of a curve right here. That graph is concave up, and it is increasing. The graph is going up. Here is a graph that is concave up and decreasing. Just remember, if you're not sure which concavity is, look at it. If it makes part of a smile, it's a concave up. If it makes part of a frown, it is concave down. So keeping those 2 in mind. And then the very last thing to make sure you know is use your calc to check yourself and make sure you go back and put things in twice so you know you got the answers right. Okay, you've got everything in there. If you have any questions, see me in the morning. Take care.